This is Terry Howe from the Talkback Fans Podcast, and you're listening to the BBQ Central Show with the incomparable host, Greg Rempe.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to. Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Sean Bono! It's all about the Sean Bono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate sushi or wiener.
Now listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, just like that, we are into the second hour. You found the BBQ Central Show, a show that talks about barbecue and grilling stuff Tuesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you that can't get it live, never fear, we do it on podcast as well. And you can go to iTunes and Google Podcast and all that other crap where you subscribe to podcast and get this show at your leisure. First hour will be released tomorrow, second hour Thursday. And don't forget that best of show on Friday. Friday marks the 100th episode of the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. And it's a little special version. It's not the normal John Solberg piecing a couple interviews together from a previous. John actually interviews me. So if you've wanted to hear me get interviewed, talk about the genesis of the show and the best of show and all that stuff, then make sure you subscribe to the podcast as we unveil episode 100 this coming Friday. Now, special guest in by surprise through, of course, Company Learjet. We welcome back the starting middle for the Seton Hill University Griffins women's volleyball team. That's right. You know her. You love her. It is Bobby Rempe. Hey, Bobby!
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Look at you.
Hello.
Man,
Good.
oh, man, here she is, live and in pro.
Oh.
I gotta fix your. Oh, it's the camera. Hold on a second.
Do you only see my head? Well, maybe it's this chair. Because this chair is not good.
Yeah, that's right. Now we're good.
Yeah.
Looking good. See, you still got a little purple in that hair, I see.
Yes.
Like that. You like that?
Yeah.
You gonna keep it up?
No.
No?
No.
Oh. So now we're in the process of letting it grow out.
Yes.
All right. Now, great stuff. So last Tuesday, believe it or not, as you were in the opening round of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission Conference Board Industry, and you were...
Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
That's right. The PSAC, as they say.
The PSAC.
I don't say that. My boss always goes. When he's... I say, Mike, my daughter was in the PSAC, and he goes, PSAC. Because, you know.
That's how you say it. It's PSAC.
That's right. In the PSAC, you guys took it to East Stroudsburg. It was a tough 4-set loss. Kind of choked it away in the fourth, up 22-18. Of course, that completely goes against my 22 up by 3 or more points theory that I've been working on since JO season a number of years ago.
True.
But let's recap. So here's the good news, right? Yesterday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the NCAA women's volleyball tournament revealed that as a 7 seed in the Atlantic Division, Seton Hill will be playing Gannon. So you're excited about going to your first NCAA tournament?
Yes.
All right. So what has the coach prepared you guys for?
Well, we played Gannon before once already this season.
Yes.
So, in practice yesterday, we prepared on going up and playing defense against quick offenses.
Because if I remember correctly, there isn't any one extremely tall. Like Stroudsburg had a couple really tall girls that were also very athletic and they could put the ball down and block very well on defense. I don't recall the same type of athletic outfit on Gannon's side. They were quick, they could hit, but there wasn't anybody that was like mega tall.
Yeah, I'm not really going to lie. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I know we lost in 3, and we played a not great game.
Yes.
And they played, according to their coach, the best game of their season statistics-wise.
All right.
But I don't remember what the other people on the other side look like. I couldn't tell you.
Volleyball players.
No.
Oh. All right, so Armenia, you guys excited? The game has been set. It's going to be next Thursday in Wheeling at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
So, I mean, so here's what I think. I was watching the East Stroudsburg game. Literally, as we were going on air, I was calling play-by-play in the opening segment of your game. I was doing my very best play-by-play impressions, and I was not doing very well. And I said, wow, look at this team. They're taking Stroudsburg to the limit each and every set. They got their doors blown off earlier in the year by Stroudsburg, so I thought it was going to be a quick dispatch of you guys, but you showed stick-to-itiveness, some fortitude, some fight, and you took them to 4. It probably could have been 5. My thought was if you got them to 5 and then raised to 15.
I thought we were going to win.
I thought at 5.
After the third set.
Yes.
That last ball that I blocked, I thought we had it in the bag.
You thought you were going to go on and win?
Yes.
Wow.
100%. Because then we were up, and then we weren't anymore. We lost.
Yeah. But I thought if you got to 5, the race to 15, you guys definitely would have had momentum. And you probably would have beat them. And then maybe you would have beat, was it Shepherd that they ended up beating too? Or?
Shippensburg.
Oh, Shippensburg and then Shepherd.
We played them, and we lost in 5.
Yes.
We could have won.
Yeah.
So if we would have won the first one, we would have won the next one, and then the PSACs. So we would have won if we would have won on Tuesday.
You're thinking you could have just gone right at, you could have won the PSAC tournament, right? Wow.
Yes.
My goodness. Well, I don't necessarily disagree. So here's what we need to take from that. I'm sure your coach has told you. You guys play a clean game on Thursday, and Gannon comes back to a little bit of normalcy, and they've done a little bit of losing as of late as well. I mean, they made
They lost in 3 to Shepherd.
Right. So
Shepherd just joined the conference this year.
Yes, and they're a pretty good team. I mean, all in all, they're a pretty decent team all the way around. Was that a school that was recruiting you back in the day or no?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. So, I mean, I'm saying 70% chance of Shoe winning on Thursday next week. Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
You think 70% is fair, or what's your heart telling you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Are you confident in your teammates?
Yes.
Yes. Then I would imagine you think you're going to win. Right? There's a lot of pounding going on over there. Kill. Hey, let's talk about the 2019 inaugural season for one Bobby Bell Rempe, the freshman from Wycliffe, from Village O High School in Wycliffe. So, I mean, how's your first season? Like, did you expect to be starting? Did you expect to be seeing this amount of playing time? Like, what was your expectation going in? And where is it being met now as we sit here a couple days before Thanksgiving? Be honest.
Well, when the preseason started, I had no idea because we would practice and there was like 8 people in my position.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And 3 at the time were freshmen. 1 got moved to a different position. And then I went down. My hip just... So I thought, oh, that's it. Done for sure. Because I missed all of preseason and a scrimmage. I never thought that I would be starting. And then in Michigan, when I started doing good...
Yeah, Fair State, right.
I think is when he's like, So, I don't remember when I started starting.
It was pretty much then. Like, you were starting the last couple matches Fair State, and then you rolled right into the starting position every match after that you were starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I always, like, in high school, I always started. So, I mean, I know it's different, but, like, I wanted to start.
Sure.
Was hoping to start. Knew I could do it. Seeing my competition.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, I don't know. College is weird. Coaches can be weird about things. And here I am. I'm starting.
Do you get a letter?
Huh?
Do you get a letter?
I don't know how that works.
I don't think so.
I'm leading
Yes.
the team in blocks.
Wait.
You can get in touch with the show by... A Barbecue Central Show exclusive news update.
That's right. Greg Rempe reporting from the breaking news desk here in Cleveland, Ohio with a Seton Hill women's volleyball statistical update. Kills, where are you? Top
fifth.
Wow, as a freshman, 5th overall, as I might have. Now, oh, crap. All right. What about blocks?
First.
Leading the team in blocks as a freshman. The freshman from Wycliffe. Wow, I mean, blocking is just tenacity. You want it more than everybody else. And plus, it's also what I've come to find out. You don't have to be a tall maniac in order to be a good blocker. I mean, certainly you have the hops from, I guess, from both me and your mom. But from what I hear, everybody on mom's side, they said mom could jump. But that was the only redeeming quality of my athletic career, was that I was able to jump really, really high when I was in shape. So you have some hops in you.
Yeah.
But here's what I think the most unique thing about your blocking ability is.
Mm-hmm.
You have an uncanny way of tracking the person on the other side of the net who's getting ready to put it down, and you time them up, and you put that ball right back in their kisser. And it's absolutely fast, especially the single blocks or down ball blocks. Those are momentum swingers for your team, and they are backbreakers for the other team because they think they're getting a great swing on the ball. It's coming over 100 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, 6-foot Bobby comes right up, whoop, poop, pops it right back down on the floor, score a point. They're demised. Your team rallies around, and they're like, Bobby's great again. She's great. Freshman from Wycliffe. Yeah.
Like that one during the East Stroudsburg game when I thought we were going to win.
Yeah, that was a great one.
It was the best one all season.
Right.
They all said it.
It was great.
Right, that was the best block you had all season. That was the best block anyone had. I was like, I know. Thank you.
Well, I mean, we don't lack for confidence anywhere over there, do we? Oh,
66 I have 66 blocks.
66 blocks.
Second place has 57.
Right. How tall are you? Somebody's asked. Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue wants to know how tall you are.
Does he?
With sneakers.
5'11".
Oh, 6 foot.
5'11".
Let's round up.
Because
6'2".
I'm just that much better when I'm shorter and blocking all the balls.
Right. So, I mean, taller than the average girl to be sure, Joe, but you know, from a volleyball standpoint, there's certainly much taller women at the middle position.
I'm short.
Yeah.
Like the girl at East Stroudsburg, 6'3".
Yeah, she's a maniac. She's a monster.
Crazy.
All right, anything else before I let you go?
No.
No? All right. School's going well for you? I mean, I know, you go to college for academics first, not for volleyball. So, school's good?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of writing a paper.
All right, great. Go write the paper. We will track what's happening on Thursday. If anybody wants to come out to Wheeling and support Seton Hill, bring it on. Buy your Coca-Cola and a can of popcorn if you want, and we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, Bobby, thanks for stopping by.
You are welcome.
All right, we'll see you later. That's Bobby. Wonderful appearance by Bobby, impromptu, of course, flying in on the home-owned G5 back from Greensburg, Pennsylvania, as we get ready to stretch on over to the Embedded Correspondents segment. NCAA tournament time. Next Thursday is the opening round of 64. If they win, they would potentially play East Stroudsburg if they win their region. So we'll see how it goes. Yes, TNS Barbecue, Daddy Dearest, will be in Wheeling. Can't miss that. I'll take vacation days for that. And if they make the run, it'll be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday run. So we'll see how it goes. All right, let's go ahead and load up for the Embedded Correspondents segment. Lots to get to with those guys, so stick around, and we'll be right back. Thanks again to Bobby Rempe, the starting middle for Seton Hill University women's volleyball team, breaking down the season and looking ahead to the NCAA regional round of 64 as they do that in Wheeling, West Virginia this coming Thursday. Not this coming Thursday, a week from Thursday. This coming Thursday is obviously Thanksgiving. Stick around, be right back.
only show giving you a monthly visit from a doctor of barbecue, a man actually named Meathead, the author of a barbecue Bible, bloggers, reviewers, competitors, and manufacturers by the dozens. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, well, it was like a week ago. The Smithfield National Barbecue Championship took place. They crowned a winner. That's right, it ended up being Fred Robles. They're also taking applications for the grant program, smokingwithsmithfield.com. You can head over there and also pay $20 or $25 for the Committed Cooks program, where you pay them to wear their stuff. And you can promote Smithfield, a great marketing concept over there by the folks at Smithfield. SmokingWithSmithfield.com, again, is the website. All right, it's the fourth Tuesday of the month, and you know what that means. I would play the drum roll, but hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. There it is. We are going to race to the hotline. No, that's too hot. No, that's too hot. Hold on. Bear with me. I accidentally deleted this. Still too hot. Much better. It's the Embedded Correspondents. A little on-the-fly sound adjustments there. All right, here we go. Doug Scheiding, the longest-running correspondent, is right there on your left. Steve Ray from Tennessee is right there on the top. John Solberg from Michigan is there just underneath Steve. We are, I guess, for the foreseeable future, if not indefinitely, down a embedded correspondent. That would be David Huff from Oklahoma, and he is battling some personal issues that he's got to get through before we have him back here in the friendly confines of the Barbecue Central Show embedded correspondent segment. So we have three now. If you're, dare I say, applications are open. So if you think you have the chutzpah, if you think you can bring the heat once a month and compete with the likes of Doug, John, and Steve, I welcome you to email me, Greg, at thebbqcentralshow.com, and make a pitch. You don't just say, can I? And I say, yes. You have to make a pitch and sell yourself because, hey, I'm a sales guy. Steve's a sales guy. Doug was probably a sales guy at one point. I know John loves sales guys in general. So, it's all different kinds of fun here. All right, so let's get into a number of topics that we have here tonight. Now, Doug, there was something I saw, and John, was it you or Steve post that wannabe meter thing the other day in our chat? Somebody posted it. Do you have one, John? Is that it?
I have a meat stick.
Yeah, meat stick. That's right. So that jogged my memory, and I said, man, oh man, I think it might have been a year ago, or maybe it seems like 2 years ago when there was this thing called the meter. 5 years ago, according to John, there was this thing called the meter, and it seemed to have the legs of being perhaps one of the most prolific, game-changing live fire thermometers ever, because it gave you internal, and then the part that stuck out of the meat was your ambient pin temperature probe. It seemed to solve all of your most ailing issues when it came to remote thermometering. Okay, I'm inventing a new word. Doug was first on the bandwagon. I think he actually might have been co-founder of the Kickstarter as we dig a little bit deeper into this. But, Doug, you have been riding this horse up and down the range. So can you refill us in on what I'm calling the timeline of disaster as we sit here as 2019 is rapidly coming to a close?
Well, thinking back, I believe I have you to thank, Greg, because didn't you have someone on the show that was talking about the meter? And I believe that's how I learned about it. And I tried to find it on the archives. But anyway, so in June, I went back and looked, have the emails, June 22nd, 2017. All right. I bought two of the meat probes for a mere $69 each and $10 shipping. No sales tax.
So you're in $150 right now.
Yeah, 150 in.
All right.
And so then I heard about the stinking block, how it was going to have its own router, and then it was going to have 4 probes. And I'm like, okay. So later that day, I bought the block.
Wow. Just like that.
That was $199 and $5 shipping.
Oh my!
So now I'm into it.
Now you're $355 in.
$355. Yes, exactly. Wow. So I received my my first two probes. They're only Bluetooth only. That was on October 11th, 2017. Not too bad, 5 months. I thought I was part of the Kickstarter.
Right?
It's Bluetooth only.
Yes.
Well, I apologize. It's Bluetooth primarily. You have to have an iPad or something to act as a router, then to connect to your home network. And it was very convoluted. I did it once. I used it 3 or 4 times, and then I just put it away. I'm like, okay, I'm not really going to use those because with the, when you put it in the grill, it was fine until you put it in the grill. And then the Bluetooth connection was terrible. Oh. And I wasn't going to leave my phone outside all the time. And so that was no good. All right.
And then has the meter or the meat block or whatever the hell they call the block, has that materialized yet or no?
Yes. Yeah. So I, John was pinging me several times saying I was never getting one. And so that was probably April of this year. So I have an email April 2nd, 2019. And I'm like, where is it? They responded back, and I'm quoting them, slower production, basically due to higher demand. How do you have slower production due to higher demand when you're not even sending any, and that they're assembling them all by hand, and that it was going to be shipping soon? But hey, if I was tired of waiting, they would offer an exchange for the Meter Plus, which apparently has a 5 times Bluetooth range as the original one, and that they would, so then I'm like, this is lacking confidence, but I'm like, screw it. I didn't like the original meter. So, why would I change it for the Meter Plus? So anyway, so I just thought, I'll just wait it out. And so on August 2nd, I sent them again another email, 2019. And where is it? And they said, oh, sorry, based on your order number, you should have been shipped in May. And that I needed to confirm my address for them to ship it to, and it must have gone to your spam. Oh. And that I had to go and confirm my address. And I'm like, oh, okay. So apparently they shipped to Kickstarter first, and then they shipped to Indiegogo backers.
Indiegogo, right.
Okay, so I was an Indigo backer, and so I should have been shipped in May, a month after my first email in April. So I did get it. I confirmed, and I did get it on August 19th. And weren't you saying in the last podcast or two how you got it and just put it in the drawer and then didn't use it?
Well, I mean,
you got some device.
I had the Fireboard that I got, and I just put it in because I had some perceived mental hurdle, and then once I actually used it, I was very ashamed, embarrassed. It was super easy to get going, and it works fabulous. I use it all the time.
Okay. All right, so this sat on my coffee table because I actually tried to read the directions, but I always have my contacts in, and I hate using readers. The directions were so small that I would have had to have taken my contacts out to read them, and I didn't. And so I actually used it last night and this morning, so I could prep for this, and I used it in standalone mode. I tried to hook it up in Wi-Fi, didn't do it immediately, and then used it in standalone mode, and it actually was pretty good. Here it is. It's actually it's built pretty solidly, so it's not a cheap kind of device, and they don't number. These are all 1, 2, 3, 4. So it comes up on your screen. It's the temperatures 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can program it in what temperature you want it to go off at, and it'll start beeping about 5 minutes before. So I had a brisket on and a turkey on this morning, and then it started beeping in terms of. So I had 2 probes in, 2 of the 4 in. So
you get the distance that you're hoping for, and they seem to be accurate in temperature taking and all of this.
No, I just left it next. Yeah, it's on standalone. Yeah, I moved it from to the kitchen area. Nah, one worked, one didn't. So, and I don't know if it's a function of the Timberline because it's the double installation. I don't know. I'm going to connect it on the Wi-Fi here soon, but first experience is kind of mediocre, I'd say.
Oh dear! So it sounds like it continues to be a nightmare. Wow.
Yeah. But I'm interested in this meat stick. Yeah, the meat stick that John got and how much that costs.
John, talk to us about the meat stick. I guess let's hear about that.
I haven't really dug into it yet. The Wi-Fi kit comes with 2 probes and a charger, and but I haven't. It's like the 185 price range, and I haven't gotten any deeper to it.
How many thermometers did it come with?
2.
All right. So I mean, it's half the price of what Doug's into, and it's got about half the amount of thermometers. But when do you anticipate a review or a use of that?
I'm hoping to get going with it this weekend and really take a dive into it and see if I can break it.
Steve, what are your thoughts on all of this stuff?
I bought a turkey today. You want to hear about that?
I do want to hear about that. Let's talk turkey. All right. Do you use any of that stuff, Steve? Are you
No.
just Thermapen guy? You have any remote thermometer stuff? You have a Fireboard or anything like that?
Thermapen.
Thermapen, that's it.
That's it.
All right. Diane Me in the chat room says, just cook the damn meat and forget about the science experiment. We agree, Diane. Yeah. We just like to buy tech. I mean, what can we say? We're men. All right, so that's the Doug Scheiding's timeline of disaster update, and it sounds like it continues to be a bit of a disaster. But we'll see how it goes when he gets into Wi-Fi mode. Now, let's quickly go around the table here. Last month, we were really bagging on Subway brisket sandwiches and Arby's brisket sandwiches. We did pick our favorites out of the crap, which I always love to do, picking favorites out of crap. And then we heard that there was some Nashville hot brisket sandwiches that I tasked everybody to go out and try. So, Steve, let's start with you. Did you try it, and what did you think?
Yes.
What did you think?
Well, let me tell you.
Oh.
You see that right there?
It looks like a styrofoam container.
But it's not.
Oh.
Doug and y'all join me, John, Greg. This thing is really heavy duty. You open it up.
Yeah.
See there?
I like it.
Nice presentation.
Yeah.
I brought it with us.
Oh, look at that.
See there?
You doing a live eating demonstration here on the TV?
No, I'm not going to eat it because it tastes like shit.
Oh.
But I wanted to show it to you.
Yeah. All right.
And it is stacked as far as presentation.
Yeah.
Compared to the Subway.
What kind of is that like a ciabatta bun or like what kind of a bun?
Yeah, it's a
looks pretty heavy duty.
It's a cornbread bun.
Cornbread.
What's it called, Doug?
Cornbread bun.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
It's pretty thick.
Good.
The slaw was good.
Good meat to bun ratio.
Yeah. A lot better than Subway. It's better than Subway. It's better than
Arby's.
What else did we get?
Arby's,
yeah. But it's just sliced so thin. It's that's it. It's like
oh dear,
chipped ham from Isley's up in Pittsburgh. It's real thin. It's not good.
Well, the difference, of course, is Isley's Chip Chop ham is absolutely delicious. Oh my God, I love that. It's one of my favorites of all time.
But did you see this? Did you see that little thing when you guys got yours?
A fire hydrant of sauce?
Yeah, it's a. Now, Greg, you'll have to correct my pronunciation. Datil pepper hot sauce. Is that right? Datil?
I've never heard of it.
Datil.
Yeah, we'll go with Datil. Why not?
Okay. That's up by the counter, $5.99. I thought the little fire hydrant thing was cute, so I bought it.
All right, but like on a scale of 1 to 10, where does this hot
2.
brisket? 2. All right. 2. John, did you try it out?
I did try it out.
All right. What did you think?
It was my first firehouse experience, which I thought just totally lacked luster. You walk in the door, they say, "Welcome to the firehouse," and you could tell they just did not want to be saying that to you that day. So I thought that it was pricey. I'm sorry, I don't recall the price point. But I got the sandwich. It was just a roast beef shaved sandwich, like Steve said. There was a lot of heat on the front end. There was zero heat on the back end. I can't say it was good. I do think that the cornbread bun was good because it was sweet. And not being a bread person, for me, it was like eating a piece of cake. The slaw was all right, as Steve said. But all in all, yeah, I'll go a 3 on it. But that's the best I can do with it.
All right. What about you, Doug?
Yeah, I did like the cornbread bun, but as I've been guilty of before, I can burn the bun. My bun was a little burnt, so I picked off the burnt. Had mayo, pickles, slaw, thinly sliced. I thought it was more like pastrami style. I thought the sauce was, and maybe that's that daytail sauce that you bought, Steve, was more like a wing sauce, not a barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And it was, I thought, entirely too spicy. Again, the land of fast food where barbecue sauce dominates whatever sandwich. I gave it a 3, but I did like Subway, remember, and Arby's is more like a 2.
All right. Well,
it wasn't as bad as the Arby's.
I don't want to say that I'm a Nashville aficionado, but I really like a good Nashville hot something, usually on chicken, right? So to see that get pressed over into brisket to maybe differentiate, I was definitely in my mind at odds with myself because I'm like, well, I like it in concept, but is it going to translate into brisket? And the real unique thing about the Nashville hot sauce is, of course, a portion of that is grease. It's the deep fried grease that you put in, and then you add your spices, and then you take the meat and you coat it, toss it, whatever. That's what makes it unique. There was not one thing that screamed real Nashville hot sauce on that sandwich. And I can't even confirm that was brisket. I really think it was just, I'm more convinced that I ate a Arby's roast beef sandwich at Firehouse Subs than I was when I ate a brisket sandwich at Arby's. Like, that's how much I thought that was roast beef. So to me, I give it a 1. Failure. Ooh. That should be immediately, as Austin Carr just said, get that weak stuff out of here. That should be removed from the menu. And then, by the way, I just drove past a Firehouse at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it said Nashville hot brisket sandwich right there. So it's still up and available. I highly suggest not just driving right past it. And by the way, Subway House or Firehouse Subs, they suck. They're just in general a big suctitude of subs. They're really not. I just don't like it at all. If you're gonna get, like, to me, you go to like a mom and pop sub shop, and I don't even really think they have those anymore. A few in between here and there in Cleveland. I don't know if they have them where you guys are. I mean, everybody's pretty much relegated to like a Firehouse or a Subway or someplace like this, which is sad because back in the old days, you go to a corner sub shop and those were some of the best sandwiches you could actually get. All right. I think we're off of food assignments from now. Well, let me ask you, did anybody eat Popeye's chicken sandwich? Doug, did you eat a Popeye's chicken sandwich?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Well, quickly give us your 1 to 10 on that, because Daniel Vaughn rates it a 7 overall on the best thing he's ever eaten.
Oh, if it's on a best thing you've ever eaten, it's more like a 3 or 4. But I do like Popeyes. I like their fried chicken. So I also had the hot Nashville chicken at Firehouse just because I was there, and that was more like a 2. That was worse than the brisket because it wasn't even fried. It wasn't even fried. But anyway, right. So it's a good value, but it's best thing you ever eat for. But on the sandwich on itself is a 5 or 6. But
all right, Steve, did you have a Popeyes? Oh, you did the Popeyes thing live on your show, right?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. I like them better than Chick-fil-A.
1 to 5 or 1 to 10. 1 being terrible, 10 being the best thing you've ever eaten. Where does it rate?
Not the best thing is, I mean, it's like a 4, but as far as chicken sandwich, it's like an 8 to me.
All right, well,
it's good.
And John, did you eat a Popeyes?
I refuse to participate.
Me
in
too.
That debauchery.
Fuck it. You're not going to catch me over there.
If I got to open carry to go to a neighborhood to get a chicken sandwich and fight with somebody in a really bad neighborhood and worry about my truck getting stole, I am not going to do it.
That's
it's
right.
ridiculous.
It's outrageous.
Get over it. I'm done.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm not going to do it. I will not succumb. But Daniel Vaughn had me on the ropes 2 weeks ago where I thought I was probably going to go within 48 hours of that segment just to see, and somehow I resisted, and now I've built up an even more firm. There's just no way in hell that I'm going to do it. So it will go away, and I will now have missed it twice in its life. So we'll see. All right, guys, stand by here for just a minute, and we'll get into the Thanksgiving talk here when we come back. We are the Embedded Correspondents segment right here on the Barbecue Central show. I'll talk to you quickly about the BBQ Guru. These guys are the creators of automatic pit temperature control technology. So if you have a friend or loved one that has a bullet-style smoker, kettle-style smoker, ceramic cooker, some type of offset pit, then all you hear them do is complain about, it's too hard to maintain temperature. I don't want to do it anymore. Think about a BBQ Guru. Something you're going to attach to the bottom or wherever the air intake is. You're going to take one probe and put it in the cooking chamber. And that probe is going to monitor where the cooking chamber is at, and then the little fan underneath where the dampers are at the bottom on the intake will pulse, make sure that fire stoked nice and right. Now you can just go ahead. Set that temperature wherever you want it. You can bake, you can grill, you can barbecue, you can do all that stuff. And they have a bunch of different models to choose from. So if you don't know which one you want, you call them at 800-288-GURU, and you ask all the questions you want. They'll make sure that you are outfitted with the exact one that you need for your cooker. If you are into the whole tech thing, the CyberQ Cloud is the one that you're going to want to get. That graphs, you can look at it from wherever you are in the world, really. They got a bunch of different other ones from there. Also, they have cookers, and they have rubs and sauces. Bob Trudnak has his own line of having a barbecue, so I think there's a peach brown sugar sauce that may or may not be coming out soon. We'll have to talk to him about that. But longest supporter of the show. So, again, great gift idea if you're looking for somebody who is complaining about having to tend those pit temperatures. BBQ Guru is something that might be right up your alley. BBQGuru.com. That's BBQGuru.com, or call 800-288-GURU. A breakthrough in barbecue technology. We're back with more Embedded Correspondents right after this. Stick around. I'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is... we'll wait for that. The Embedded Correspondents are here, though. Doug Scheiding from Texas is right there in the green shirt, Steve Ray on the top, and in the purple shirt and blue background, which is, second week in a row, I'm just in love with John's whole setup back there. It's so simple, looks so professional, like he's in a real studio somewhere. It's great. Love it. All right, guys, so let's talk about Thanksgiving. Thursday it is, and I'm sure there's people that might have just forgot that it's this Thursday. So what are your top 2 or 3 turkey tips or tricks, like Thanksgiving stuff? It doesn't have to be like the old, we got to thaw a 60-pound turkey out over the next 2 days or anything like that. But what do you find yourself, your go-tos as Thanksgiving comes, Doug?
Don't brine, because they're almost all in a 8% brine anyway. So to me, that's like, trying to brine extra tender ribs. So don't do that. Inject. I inject with Tony Chachery's, the Creole butter and the jalapeno. You mix it, and that's about the right amount of spice. When I put it in the grill, I always put the breast to the back in the beginning, because I want to get them kind of heated up and going. And then about halfway through, I'll flip them around and have the breast pointing towards me so that I can monitor the temperature of the breast primarily, just like I do chicken.
Is it hotter in the back then?
Yeah, typically it is. I mean, you're opening the grill and stuff. And so I always put the thicker part of the brisket to the back. I always put, the thicker part of the ribs to the back. I always do that.
Do you buy into the whole icing the breast meat down to slow it down, or to bring it down even a few more degrees so you can achieve a overall finishing time together with a dark meat?
Yeah, I actually try to speed up the breast to a certain, especially on a turkey, because it's so thick. So that's why I put it to the back, and then you turn around. You've got a larger window with the leg and the thigh, right? I mean, anywhere from 165 to 180, you're probably fine. But the breast, you need to really concentrate on and get that to about 160, 165.
Are you a spatchcocker?
Spatchcock, yes.
Always?
Yeah, I do. No, not always. Not always. But that would be the preferred method. I did a 20-pound bird this morning.
Holy moly. How did it turn out?
It turned out great. It may have been one of my best ones ever.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I used to fry turkeys, and finally my wife has decided or agreed with me that smoking the turkey is best. So I do it at 325 and probably about 3.5, 4 hours.
All right, Steve, your turkey tips?
First thing is make sure you get the packages out of the turkey cavity. And people laugh.
Right.
But I posted that on my Facebook page this week, and you wouldn't believe the comments I got privately and publicly about people doing the same thing and forgetting to take the packages out. There's usually 3. There's that neck that's raw. That's got a package of giblets, or I don't know what those things are. And there's I think the heart is in there. And I heard Steven Reichland talking about it on the best 20 minutes of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less.
The best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Jesus Christ.
I believe he said he throws them all in and he boils it. And that's fine if that's what you want to do it, but just take them out. And number 2 is clip the wings off. The wings don't cook well in a smoker. They don't cook that great in an oven. Just go ahead and take those off. And don't worry about covering them with foil. They don't add that much to the presentation. And the number 3 thing.
So you're just doing away with wings altogether?
Yeah, there's only 2 of them.
What are you going to do with them? You just throw them away?
Just throw them away. Yeah, throw them with those bags of stuff that came in the cavity.
The whole wing or just the wing tip?
No, the whole wing. Nobody eats it.
I ate mine today.
What?
I ate the wing today from the turkey I cooked for the hospital. Yes.
Okay. Well, you can do it if you want, but I throw them away because they just get black. And that's the third thing I was going to address in my part of the segment, Doug, was when you put the turkey in the smoker.
Yes.
Cook it at a high temperature, as my comrade Doug did at 325, 300 to 325, because that allows the bird to cook with a pretty color. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody take a turkey out of a smoker and it's black, and they say how they cooked it for 7 hours at 225 degrees. Isn't it beautiful? It's not beautiful. It's black. Turkeys are not black. They're supposed to be golden brown. Cook it at a high temperature for a short period of time, and as you're cooking it, spritz it with butter at the top. You can inject it like Doug said beforehand, but I'm talking about the actual cook. Spritz it at least every 45 minutes with spray butter, and you will get a golden brown turkey that you will be proud to serve to your family without the nasty black skin, and trying to pass it off as a good-looking turkey.
All right, John, your tips?
I'm a whole fresh turkey guy. I don't spatchcock.
Are you an heirloom fresh turkey guy?
No, I get the grocery store brand. You can get a fresh one from the grocery store just like you get the frozen one. The frozen one has 8 to 12% brine in it. A fresh one might have up to 4% of added water. But you
just water?
Just water?
Just water.
Just water on those ones.
All right.
And I wet brine it with Alton Brown recipe, and I have for years. And then I'm a 325, 350 guy with a minimal amount of wood, because you can really over blacken that also with too much wood.
Yeah.
So also, if you're going to use lump charcoal, a cheap lump charcoal will put a lot more dark on your turkey than a better lump charcoal.
Just because of how clean it is or is not burning?
That's what I believe to be the case. So, go ahead.
What size bird are you cooking usually?
I'm the 12 to 14 pound times 2 guy.
Yeah.
Same with you, Steve?
Yes.
All right. Doug, do you typically cook a 20-pound turkey, or you're just feeling like a man today?
It was supposed to be 16 pounds, and I got the 20 pounds from the meat shop. So, but yeah, I did get the young fresh for whatever it's worth.
All right. Well, let me quickly run back around, John, and we'll come back and get your wrap up on the turkey stuff. Doug, have you ever had an heirloom turkey?
No.
Would you have any idea where to find one?
Maybe crowd cow.
All right. I have no idea. Steve, heirloom turkey, yes or no?
No. I saw a turkey online today that was $8 a pound, and the total cost of the turkey was $199.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
somebody took a picture of the sticker.
John, have you ever seen heirloom turkey? I know you said you don't use them, but have you seen heirloom turkey?
No, I've never.
All right. Well, as luck would have it, I was just in Larder Delicatessen at the end of the week last week talking to owner Jeremy Umansky, who is a foraging expert and a koji master. And I said, well, your pal, Steven Reichman, was just on my show, and he said something about heirloom turkey. I've never heard of such a thing. Well, lo and behold, Jeremy has an heirloom turkey on order from a place called Ohio City Provisions or Ohio Provisions or something like that. And it was, probably $5 a pound. But he said, hey, I know you got the face on that I can't see right now, but, it's 12 pounds. You're going to be paying $60. He's like, but the flavor that this heirloom turkey is going to have he likened it almost to like, caribou to pork versus a commodity pork flavor, if you will. And he said the flavor that you will hit your palate on a heirloom turkey versus your butterball or, you name it, commodity brand are so different. And that's why one is, what's a turkey on sale cost? 25 cents a pound or 50 cents a pound or something like that versus $5 a pound. He said the $60 is well worth. So, he inspired me not enough to go 5 blocks up the street to Ohio City Provisions and order an heirloom turkey because, oh, by the way, I'm married now 22 years and I have cooked, one Thanksgiving ever? Yeah, I've hardly ever cooked a Thanksgiving in my life. My mom cooked Thanksgiving up until I can remember, and then when I got married, my mother-in-law has taken over all the Thanksgiving, so, I don't ever cook Thanksgiving. I sometimes have to suffer through Thanksgiving, but I rarely have to cook through Thanksgiving. All right, so quickly, let's go around the top here. Doug, this will be a little bit repetitive for you, but Steve, a spatchcock or no?
No, absolutely not.
John, spatchcock?
No.
Doug, you are a spatchcock.
Yes, prefer.
Doug, cranberries in the can, yes or no?
No to cranberries.
Period?
Period.
All right. Steve, cranberries in the can, yes or no?
No to cranberries as well.
Okay. And John, cranberries in the can, yes or no?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. God, it's a treat from Jesus Christ himself, for crying out loud. Let's see. Mashed taters, yes or no, John?
Yes.
Doug, mashed taters, yes?
Absolutely, and I make the gravy because you can never have enough.
That's right. Steve, mashed potatoes, yes or no?
It's a must. Got to have mashed potatoes.
All right,
it's a must.
Let's stay with Steve. Stuffing or dressing?
Dressing.
All right, so you like to go outside the turkey?
Yeah, that's how we cook it here.
Okay.
We don't cook it inside. We cook it in a pan.
Do you ever stuff a turkey or just never would do that?
No, I never have.
Oh, okay.
I'm like you. I've never been charged with doing the entire meal. I've done the turkey, and then they say just stay out of the kitchen.
John, dressing or stuffing?
We call it stuffing, but it doesn't go in the bird. So up here, it is technically dressing, but up here we call it stuffing. Okay. Never in the bird.
You've never done it in the bird?
Yes. Okay. Back in the day, before you found out it was probably not the greatest way to go about it.
Doug, stuffing or dressing?
My mom's stuffing was the best, and she did it initially in the bird, then she would take it out and finish it in a pan.
Delicious. So you got a little crust or crisp on there?
Exactly, and then hopefully that got all the bad stuff, because it sometimes doesn't cook in the stuffing, right? When you put it in the bird, but yeah, it was in the bird during the cook, and then she finished it in the pan.
All right, John, dark or white meat preference?
I'm good with both, and I will put both on the plate right out of the gate.
All right, Doug, dark or white meat preference?
I always like to try the white because that's harder to cook.
So you're doing it from a competitive standpoint, then?
Yeah, I just want, yeah.
All right, Steve, dark or white meat?
White meat. White. With lots of gravy.
All right. Should one infer with lots of gravy that you've overshot, or do you just like gravy?
I just love gravy. I put it on everything.
All right.
The dressing, potatoes, everything.
I'm dark meat guy. I'm dark meat guy on chicken. I'm a dark meat guy on turkey. Any poultry, I guess. I'm more dark meat guy than white meat. And I've never been around a lot of recent Thanksgivings where the white meat has drawn my attention in a positive way, if you know what I mean. So, but there is usually a lot of gravy, so that's a saving grace nonetheless. All right, so let's quickly go around. Steve, we'll start with you. A favorite Thanksgiving Day memory?
This is easy. 2007, we were invited to my wife's sister's home in Knoxville.
All right.
And we went up early. I went up early with them, and my brother-in-law and I were going to play golf. So we got up early and went to the country club, and he treated me to a great breakfast at the club, and we played golf, and it was just a wonderful morning, and we finished our golf, and we had drinks, and he said, well, lunch is at 2, so let's head on back. So we got on back, and the turkey was just going into the oven at 1:45.
Oh, dear.
So, but who's in a hurry on Thanksgiving, right? So thought nothing of it, sat around. The guests started to arrive. The caterers started to arrive. Everybody was drinking and then drinking and drinking. 2 o'clock came and went. 3 o'clock came and went. 4 o'clock came and went. My brother-in-law kept drinking. 5 o'clock came and went.
Oh, dear.
6 o'clock came and went. And I heard a commotion in the kitchen. And these people live in quite a lovely home with a double oven. And I heard one of the ovens open, and I heard the turkey come out and get slammed into the other oven that was set at sun. He put the turkey in there, and then we watched it cook in an infrared environment. And we all joyfully sat down at 7:45 for Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, my Lord.
And not a whole lot of conversation was going on, especially between my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. So after the dinner, my 2 brother-in-laws and I retired to the den, and we sat there, and we were going to sleep. But then one of the nephews turned on HBO, and lo and behold, it was a Britney Spears concert from Las Vegas. Oh. I had never seen Britney Spears in concert. I didn't really get Britney Spears. I get Britney Spears now. I sure do.
Yeah?
Watch that concert without batting an eye.
Yeah, I bet.
Without moving an inch from that couch. So what turned out to be just a bad meal experience turned into a great Britney Spears viewing experience. And at about 10:30.
Steve Ray, head of the Britney Spears fan club after that, right?
I'm a big follower on Instagram.
I bet you are, no doubt. John, do you have can you regale us with a Thanksgiving tale?
That's a tough one to follow.
Sure.
I actually I thought about this, and I thought the best Thanksgiving memory I have, actually, I was in the Air Force. It was 1982. Couldn't make it home. But we weren't working that day. So my roommate said, hey, let's see who's not working today. We didn't have any plans. We didn't have a turkey. I had a Stouffer's frozen lasagna in the freezer and a frozen garlic bread. And we started getting on the phone back in the old days. You dialed the phone with around and around. And we found a dozen people that were there like us. Everybody just brought whatever they had in their freezers and in their refrigerators and beers, and we just all met up at my place, and we just had the greatest Thanksgiving I think I ever had. And just with Stouffer's frozen lasagna and some garlic bread.
If nothing screams Thanksgiving like Stouffer's frozen lasagna. But what are you going to do? I mean, you're in the Air Force, and options are very limited at that point.
We didn't plan. You're not planners when you're 19. You're not thinking about it.
That's right. Flying by the seat of your pants. All right, Doug, do you have a favorite Thanksgiving memory?
Well, when I was a kid, we used to go to Iowa and, my grandfather's house on the farm and stuff. So that was always fun. But more recently, and this is going to shock Steve Ray Spears, but it was when I was with my nephew and nieces. And that's back when I used to fry turkeys, probably 10 years ago or so. And we had a fried chicken wing contest, and we had 3 rounds that we did, just like the National Barbecue Smithfield. But we had 3 rounds of and it was just, they had so much fun, and then they got to all taste each other's, and I mean, we must have done that for 2-3 hours, so it was actually a lot of fun.
My favorite Thanksgiving memory is one that repeated itself for 15 years, maybe even 20 years, as I'm trying to think. There were 2 different traditions in my house that were mainstays. Christmas was always spent at my mom's parents' house in Hornell, New York, and we would go. I think there was at one point we would go, 2 weeks. There were days leading up to Christmas. We'd have the actual event, then we'd stay for like a week, almost into New Year's, and it was like a whole thing. My cousin was there, and it was great. And that was Christmas, always over at Grandma Lapiana. Thanksgiving was at my house, wherever we were at that point, and originally it started in Saratoga Springs, New York. And my dad's brother, my Uncle Tom, would show up, and he had his wife, and he had 2 sons. And then my dad's parents would also show up. So this is Grandma and Grandpa Rempe for me. And that was probably in the neighborhood of a week. Maybe it was a little shorter than that. But there were things that really stuck out to me during those times. And it was waking up Thanksgiving morning, and it was my Uncle Tom and my mom feverishly working at some ungodly-sized turkey that everybody was breaking out the tape measures to try and figure out how they were exactly going to fit that son of a bitch into the oven, and mathematically working out how, back timing it in so everything else was going to finish all at the same time as we were shooting for a dinner time arrival. And then my Uncle Tom had a great love affair with wine, and he did a lot of traveling at one point, and he would always bring back these German, they were called Franken wines. That's a wine brand for some reason that really sticks in my head, were these Franken wines. And I didn't like wine back then at all. And I tried, it was just not any good. The thing that just sticks in my mind the most, and I hope nobody is listening, my uncle's wife really liked drinking. And by the time Thanksgiving dinner rolled around, there were more years than not when she was well into the bag. And it was just a great sight to behold, just kind of yapping and yelling and maybe sometimes passing out and all that stuff. But like every year, like that was it. And then it was like, okay, well, I got to go to work because I worked at a movie theater and I had the ability to escape at that point. Because as you know, Thanksgiving and I think it's Christmas are 2 of the biggest going to the movie nights in the movie industry, believe it or not. So there you go. So that's kind of my Thanksgiving reprisal and story. So there you go. We have a great Thanksgiving coming up for everybody. Hopefully, I'll still be passing along some tips and tricks and old podcasts. But in the meantime, I want to thank my guys, John Solberg from Michigan, Steve Ray from Tennessee, and Doug Scheiding from Texas. A very happy Thanksgiving. Be safe, be well, hug the ones you love, all the good stuff. And we will see you guys back, believe it or not, to close out the year of 2019 next month. We'll actually see how logistically that's going to work out, but we'll probably be here next month. So there they are, the Embedded Correspondents. See you gents later. There they go. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. All right. I got one more of these to do, and then we can make tracks to get out. I'm telling you, man, it was a sight at my house. Is Uncle Tom's wife going to make it through dinner? Is she going to vomit? Let's hope not. That's expensive wine. Keep that in house. Hey, let me talk to you quickly about Big Poppa Smokers, the one-stop online shop for all things barbecue, a curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies. We'll get you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Everything at BigPoppaSmokers.com has been Pitmaster approved by Sterling Big Poppa Ball himself. From the award-winning rubs and sauces to the American-made grills and smokers, Big Poppa has something for everybody to be a better outdoor cook. They have 13 perfectly balanced rubs and seasonings if you want to jump in on those. Also, a special relationship with Steph Franklin and the folks over at Simply Marvelous Barbecue. Putting those two together gets you the West Coast offense. They own Granny's barbecue sauce. So if you're looking for a new go-to sauce or you're tired of what's on the market, head on over and check out Granny's barbecue. It's delicious. I've had it. And aside from the premium selection of rubs and sauces, they also have great cookers. Of course, they are the exclusive Mac Online pellet cooker retailer. So if you're interested in learning more about those, BigPoppaSmokers.com. Also, Old Hickory Ace BPs. It's the only charcoal cooker that Big Papa trusts on his competition trailer. And if you have any questions about what cooker you may or may not want to get, call them 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727, or shop the website BigPoppaSmokers.com. That's BigPoppaSmokers.com. Back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. We thank Doug Scheiding, John Solberg, and Steve Ray for joining me last segment. And the segment before that, breaking down Thanksgiving, a little meter talk, all the good stuff. We'll find them again next month as we close out the year of 2019. And we get ready to race away right here, all the way back in the first hour. Richie Robin started us out. If you're interested in that kick-ass cutting board, go to gatorpit.net, not .com, .net. The top right, as you look at it, there's a big red shop button. Click on that. First thing listed is the cutting board. Again, 35 inches, 18 inches high, half-inch thick, the grease channel that runs all the way around it. $165 retail. Use promo code BBQ Central. That's BBQ Central for 10% off. That brings you down to $148.50. Can't beat it. You're going to be really happy with this cutting board, let me tell you. After Richie, we talked with Robin Lindars, the Grill Girl. Don't forget, her holiday gift guide will be launching the 10th anniversary of that, I believe. So make sure you go to grillgirl.com regularly and get your hands on the gift guide. And then we did the second hour with the Embedded Correspondents. Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up here in the next couple days. Wherever you're going to be at, be safe, enjoy the ones you're with, and enjoy the food. Send me pictures. I want to see it. We'll break it down next week. Big show lined up for you next week. Jess Pryles is in. Sam the Cooking Guy is in. Malcolm Reed is in. Emily Detweiler is in. Packed already. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. This is your program host at Proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Happy Thanksgiving and good night now.